Welcome to this white paper presentation titled The Ecosystem of Technologies for Social Science Research. This is part of the white paper series in Management Education by Skilled MBA. In this session, we explore a rapidly evolving landscape where digital tools, big data, and innovation are transforming how social science research is conducted. As digital data becomes more central to research, it brings new tools, new methods, and new challenges. We'll walk through these developments, highlight critical insights, and discuss what they mean for researchers, institutions, and developers alike. This presentation is based on an in-depth review of over 400 software tools and platforms and is part of Sage Ocean's continuing effort to support and strengthen the research technology ecosystem. Let's begin by understanding the purpose and context of this work. This white paper was designed with four main objectives in mind. First, to map the technology landscape by providing a broad overview of existing tools available for social science research. We're talking about everything from data collection apps to AI-driven analysis platforms. Second, to identify key stakeholders. These include not only researchers and academics, but also developers and funding bodies, all of whom influence the growth and adoption of research technologies. Third, we address the barriers to adoption. Even the best tool can fail if it's not usable, affordable, or accessible. We'll look at the real-world constraints faced by researchers around the globe. And finally, we offer guidance for future development. What will it take to create more inclusive, sustainable, and impactful research technologies? Together, these goals help bridge the gap between those who create the tools and those who use them, forging a collaborative path forward for innovation in social sciences. Social science research is in the midst of a digital revolution. We're seeing an explosion of digitally born data, from social media platforms to digital transactions and online communities. These data streams are vast, complex, and growing every day. To make sense of this information, researchers need new computational methods. Traditional approaches often fall short. Now, there's a demand for tools that can perform large-scale data analysis, machine learning, and natural language processing. As a result, over 400 research tools have emerged to meet this demand. From simple data visualization apps to advanced AI-powered software, the landscape is more diverse than ever. But with rapid expansion comes challenge. Many tools are hard to learn, poorly supported, or incompatible with each other. The potential is enormous, but without a supportive ecosystem, it remains out of reach for many. Let's take a deeper look into the research tool ecosystem. We've identified over 400 software platforms designed specifically for social science research. These include tools for data collection, analysis, visualization, and collaboration. But it's not just about quantity. There are major trends and concerns here. Only 10% of tool developers are women, pointing to a serious gender gap in tech leadership. Around 60% of tools were developed in academic settings, showing strong roots in university research. Alarmingly, about 35% of tools face sustainability issues, often due to lack of funding or developer turnover. This mix of innovation and instability creates both opportunity and risk. On one hand, we have cutting-edge solutions. On the other, tools that disappear or become outdated, leaving researchers stranded. What we need is not just more tools, but better support for the tools that exist. Now, let's break down the ecosystem by tool type. We categorize tools into four main groups. 1. Data collection. These include web scrapers, APIs, online survey platforms, and digital ethnography tools. They help researchers gather data from both structured and unstructured sources. 2. Data analysis. This group includes statistical software, text mining platforms, and AI-based models. These tools help uncover patterns, themes, and relationships within massive datasets. 3. Visualization. Dashboards, network graphs, geographic maps, and even AR/VR tools bring data to life. They help make research findings more engaging and easier to understand. 4. Collaboration. With research teams often working across time zones, collaborative tools are essential. From version control systems to cloud-based annotation platforms, these tools support teamwork and reproducibility. Each category plays a vital role in the modern research process, but navigating this diversity can be overwhelming, especially without guidance or centralized support. First, digital tools are now central to modern research. The volume and complexity of today's data simply cannot be handled manually. Whether you're analyzing social media trends, conducting sentiment analysis, or visualizing networks, specialized software is essential. Second, these tools are enabling collaboration at a global scale. Cloud-based platforms and shared digital workspaces allow researchers from different countries, institutions, and disciplines to work together seamlessly, in real time. And third, these tools are helping democratize analysis. What used to require high-level programming or technical teams is now becoming more accessible. Intuitive interfaces, guided workflows, and community forums are lowering the entry barrier, making advanced methods available to a broader community of social scientists. This shift is not just about convenience. It's about unlocking new research possibilities and broadening participation in data-intensive inquiry. Let's now shift the focus to the people behind these tools, the developers. A significant portion of innovation comes from academic environments. Researchers and students are building tools tailored to specific methods and questions that traditional software doesn't address. This tight link between academic needs and tool development is both a strength and a vulnerability. However, a major concern is the gender imbalance. Only 10% of tool developers are women. This lack of diversity can influence what features are prioritized, which problems are addressed, and who the tools are truly designed for. There's also a positive trend, the rise of emerging consortia. These are groups of universities, nonprofits, and private organizations collaborating to share the workload of tool development and maintenance. Finally, we're seeing more emphasis on open knowledge exchange. Platforms like GitHub are encouraging transparency, community involvement, and shared ownership. This openness is key to building sustainable and trusted tools. Despite all this growth, finding the right tool is still a major struggle. There's no single, comprehensive directory of tools, making discovery difficult. Many researchers rely on word of mouth or scattered blog posts to identify what's out there. Once they find tools, evaluating them is complex. There's little standardization. No easy way to compare features, quality, or suitability for specific research needs. Then there's the issue of integration. Many tools weren't designed to work together. Different data formats, incompatible workflows, they create friction when trying to build a smooth research pipeline. And finally, knowledge silos. Much of what we know about these tools stays within specific communities or institutions. If you're not in those circles, you may never hear about the best solutions for your project. These barriers especially hurt early career researchers and those from under-resourced institutions, creating inequity in access to innovation. Now let's look at one of the most pressing issues, sustainability. Many research tools are built with project-based funding. Once the grant ends, so does the support. There's no continuity plan, no long-term maintenance or updates. Developer turnover is another problem. Graduate students or postdocs often lead tool development, but when they leave, their knowledge leaves with them. Research methods and data sources evolve quickly, requiring ongoing adaptation. But most tools simply can't keep up. Lastly, many of these tools lack active user communities. Without forums, documentation, or regular updates, users are left to troubleshoot alone and often give up. These challenges lead to wasted time, mistrust in digital tools, and hesitation to adopt new technologies, especially for long-term or high-stakes research projects. Even the most powerful tool is useless if people can't use it. Technical complexity is a major issue. Many tools require programming skills, command line knowledge, or installation processes that are intimidating to non-technical users. Poor documentation compounds this problem. Incomplete guides, outdated tutorials, or jargon-heavy language create confusion and frustration. There are limited training resources, especially for open-source tools. Few offer interactive tutorials, sample workflows, or instructor support. Accessibility is another major concern. Many tools are not designed for researchers with disabilities. For instance, they may not support screen readers. And then there's the language barrier. Most tools and documentation are available only in English, which limits global participation and adoption. Usability is not just a technical issue, it's a question of inclusion. If we want diverse perspectives in social science research, our tools must be designed with accessibility in mind. Let's take a deeper look at representation in the tool development ecosystem. As mentioned earlier, only 10% of tool developers are women. This not only signals a gender imbalance, but may also lead to design decisions that overlook key user needs from underrepresented groups. There's also a geographic concentration. Most development takes place in North America and Western Europe. As a result, tools may reflect assumptions or priorities that don't align with the needs of researchers in Africa, Asia, Latin America, or other underrepresented regions. Institutional privilege plays a role too. Well-funded universities and research centers are overrepresented, while smaller institutions or grassroots organizations may lack the infrastructure to build or even access these tools. The ecosystem needs greater diversity, not just to be fair, but to ensure the tools we create are relevant, inclusive, and globally impactful. Enter the Sage Ocean Initiative, a major contributor to the ecosystem. Their work focuses on mapping the tool landscape. They've catalogued over 400 tools, helping researchers understand what's available and how to navigate the space. They also conduct needs assessments by talking directly to researchers, identifying pain points, skill gaps, and user preferences. Sage Ocean emphasizes community building, fostering networks among tool developers, users, funders, and educators. Importantly, they follow an iterative improvement model. By using GitHub and other collaborative platforms, they ensure tools are constantly updated and refined based on community feedback. Sage Ocean's approach is both strategic and inclusive, setting a model for how research tool ecosystems can be built and sustained. So, how do we improve the ecosystem? First, build a centralized repository of tools. Searchable, categorized, and regularly updated. Include user reviews, case studies, and side-by-side comparisons. This one resource could dramatically ease tool discovery. Second, promote collaborative development. Encourage universities, nonprofits, and companies to pool resources. Shared costs and responsibilities create more stable tools and reduce duplication. Third, establish interoperability standards. Define common data formats, authentication methods, and integration specs, so tools can work together smoothly. These infrastructure upgrades won't happen overnight, but with collective commitment, They can make a lasting impact, reducing friction, improving adoption, and ensuring long-term success. The second set of recommendations focuses on education and inclusion. Start with an integrated curriculum. Embed tool training and computational methods into undergraduate and graduate programs in social sciences. Don't treat them as extras. Make them core competencies. Provide accessible documentation. Not just PDFs, but videos, interactive tutorials, and guides for non-technical users. Translate resources into multiple languages and formats. Create diversity programs to support underrepresented developers. Mentorship, scholarships, and community support can make a big difference. And finally, promote global inclusion. Fund tool development in underrepresented regions and encourage knowledge exchange across geographies. These steps not only improve who uses the tools, but who creates them. Inclusion must be baked into every layer of the ecosystem. To wrap up, let's look at where this ecosystem is headed. We need continuous ecosystem mapping to keep up with new tools and trends. We need community-driven evaluation, real user feedback to guide tool development and refinement. We need collaborative development involving researchers, developers, funders, and institutions. And we need impact assessment, metrics to track tool adoption, effectiveness, and influence on research outcomes. Digital data isn't slowing down. Social science research must evolve to meet the moment. The only way forward is together, building an ecosystem that is inclusive, sustainable, and designed to serve the diverse needs of researchers around the world. Thank you for joining this white paper series in Management Education by Skilled MBA. Let's continue pushing the boundaries of what's possible in social science research.